on the case.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Designedcoma here. Welcome back. And the gameplay you're watching is some momentum in Advanced Warfare. Man, that still hurts. You know, I really miss playing Black Ops 3. Back Ops? Black Ops 3. Yeah, I'm seriously missing it. I haven't started to play the new maps yet because, you know, I took some time off over the weekend, the holiday weekend, and I decided, you know, I'm gonna take it easy on the YouTube side of things. Just hang out with family, the kids, you know, and all that good stuff. So, you know, we ended up losing this match. Ironically, I tried to do everything I could. There was another player who was above me, and oddly enough, we just could not capture a single flag. We just could not capture one. No matter what we did, I mean, we would get close, and I mean, we took a few in the first round, but I mean, the second round, it just, I mean, literally, we took no flags. It was pretty bad. But overall, I mean, it had a good gameplay. So, you know, I guess that's a positive side, right? So, what am I going to talk about today in today's video, or tonight's video, whenever you're watching this? So, I kind of want to talk about some of the mean things I used to do to my sister when I was a kid. But the first thing I want to talk about is this hilarious thing that happened over the weekend. So, we are getting ready to go to Universal Studios in Orlando this year. Of course, we're going to the Harry Potter thing. You know, my son is 16, my daughter is 13, and you know, they're into Harry Potter. You know, we all like Harry Potter, so we decided, you know, we're gonna save up some money and we're gonna go to Universal. Well, we're leaving in November. We're going the first week in November because I have the marathon, you know, the Detroit Marathon in October, and you know, they'll give a couple weeks to recover, and then we're gonna head to Orlando. Well, the thing is we've decided to do a Harry Potter marathon of the movies. You know, just in celebration of our vacation. You know, this is like the first real big vacation we've taken as a family. I mean, we've gone to Hershey, Pennsylvania, but my kids were real young at that time. You know, we went there twice, and it's a great place. If you haven't been to Hershey, Pennsylvania, definitely go. You know, I mean, it's amazing. It's a ton of fun. You know, the park, the amusement park, Hersheyland, I think is what they call it, is just awesome. It's fun. All the rides are set to age groups and things like that, so it's really, really, really a lot of fun. So, back to the Harry Potter marathon. So, Monday night, you know, Labor Day, we were doing our first movie. You know, it was the first movie of Harry Potter, the very first one. And it was right around dinner time. You know, we had dinner all set. We're all sitting there getting ready to watch the movie, and I kid you not, it literally took us like 20 to 30 minutes to get through the first 10, no, not 10 minutes, but like the first 5 minutes of the movie. Now, the reason for this is, you know, my kids, being, you know, the age they are, there was, you know, a lot of, oh, I forgot this, so I need to get this, you know, and me and my wife, you know, we're sitting there, we're eating our dinner, you know, we're just trying to get to, you know, watch the movie, and we needed to get this movie done early because my kids started school on the 8th. So they're back to school, so we couldn't, you know, stay up real late watching a movie because, you know, they needed to get to bed, you know, for school. So we're trying to get this movie going, and it was just one thing after another. It was, you know, my daughter, she's not a big fan of hamburgers and stuff, and that's what we had, so she kind of made her own thing. You know, she's like a macaroni and cheese nut. She literally eats mac and cheese constantly. It's crazy the amount of mac and cheese this girl puts away. She can literally eat a whole box of the shells and cheese. You know, the liquid gold shells and cheese. She absolutely loves those things. Of course, I love them too. I mean, they're like the best macaroni and cheese. I don't know. I think they're awesome. Better than the powder kind, that's for sure. So she's making that, and then they're ready. She had to get up and mix them, and all of this is happening within, like, I'm not kidding you, the first 5 to maybe 8 minutes of the film. We could not get this thing going for the life of us. And then eventually it got to the point where, you know, me and my wife had to put our, you know, our plates away, and then, you know, other stuff. And I would say it literally took us about, you know, a good 20 to 30 minutes just to get through the first 5 to 8 minutes of the movie, because everybody was getting up and down for different things. It was the most fun. It was the funniest thing. We're all sitting there laughing about it because it's taken us this long just to get through the first 5 to 8 minutes of the movie. So eventually we did get it going. We ended up finishing it, and I think some of us almost fell asleep at some point because it was just a busy day for us that day. So some of the things I used to do to my sister, some of the mean things I did to my sister. Now this is my youngest sister. Alright, I don't know if I mentioned it in my intro video, which I'm thinking I might do a new one because, you know, that one's kind of old and it was my first video, and you know, it is not as good. So I might redo that as far as a welcome to the channel video goes. So one of the things that I happened to bring up to my son that I used to do to my sister, and I have 5 sisters. I grew up with 5 sisters, so you can imagine the the pain and anguish I had to go through growing up. I have no brothers other than brother-in-laws, but I grew up with no brothers, 5 sisters, and a ton of estrogen. I mean, it was, yeah, you know, you can imagine, I suppose, but it was not an easy life growing up as a boy and then a teenage boy. It was just, it was it was rough. So some of the things I used to do to my youngest sister, she was born after me. One of the things that I used to do is I used to, when she was taking a shower, okay, and this is when she was, I don't know how old we were, but and she used to do it to me sometimes too, but I would do it to her more than she would do it to me. I would go and get an ice cold cup of water, and I'm not talking just a little cup. I'm like a big cup, you know, even almost a pitcher of water, like a Kool-Aid pitcher, full of really cold water. I wouldn't put any ice in it, but you know, it was cold enough. And while she was in the shower, I would sneak in there ever so quietly and take that pitcher of water and just dump it right on top of her. Oh my goodness, the howls and screams that would come out of there. Now, don't get me wrong, I would get punched a few times, you know, when she got out, but it was the funniest thing whenever I would do that. And it was constantly going on, you know. We'd go back and forth, you know. I'd get her more times than she would, you know, get me, because, you know, at the time, you know, as a boy, you know, I mean, really, how many showers did you take? I didn't really take regular showers, you know, on a regular basis until I was probably in, you know, my teenage years, because honestly, you know, I mean, who wants to take a shower? It just takes time out of your day. You know, I'd rather be playing. So one other thing I used to do now, of course, you know, I didn't get to do this to my other sisters because, you know, they were obviously older than me and bigger than me, and they could beat me up at the time. But as far as my youngest sister was concerned, I had free reign to, well, I wouldn't say free reign, but I would take her Barbie dolls. You know, she played with Barbie dolls, you know, and she was big into Barbies. And I would take those things and I would chop the heads off of them. Some of them I would like pull the arm off, and this is what me and my friends would do. We'd pull the arms off and we would stick, if we had any, we'd stick some firecrackers inside the bodies, and we would just blow them to pieces, and it would make her so mad. She'd be so mad, and we probably destroyed, you know, some Barbies that maybe would have been worth some money at some time, but I mean, they were all taken out of the package and played with anyway, so it's not like they would have been worth a whole ton. But you know, so that's some of the things I would do, you know, as a kid growing up, that yeah, it was pretty mean, you know. And there was one other time that you know, I was really into Legos, and I was putting this I was into the space Legos, you know, the space ones when they came out, and I was putting together this, I don't know, I think it was a rover car or something, and it involved wheels, and I was putting it together, and for no reason whatsoever, I didn't even do anything, you know. Maybe it was a payback for some of the things I've done, but I'm sitting there and I'm putting this thing together, and she walks up and just kicks it, and it breaks all up into pieces, and I had to start all over putting it together. So I took one of the little wheels, and I was playing, you know, baseball at the time, and I whipped that thing so hard at her leg it left a giant welt, and I knew I was busted because she was howling. I mean, she was crying really hard, and of course, you know, the crying isn't fair when you're growing up as a boy. So my dad heard it, and he was like, "What the heck is going on?" And I took off upstairs. I'm telling you, I ran upstairs so fast, ran into the bathroom, thinking he wouldn't be able to find me, right? And shut the door and locked it. Well, needless to say, of course he knew where I was. And yeah, let's just say I got a pretty good butt whipping then. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like, favorite, and subscribe. And I'm still working on that outro, and eventually it's going to be up and going here. Give it about a week, and you're going to be seeing the outro at the end, and it's going to be a little bit more interesting. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one.